Hi, I'm Dave Jackson. Welcome to another JPR Live Session where we get to know musicians we admire and hear intimate live performances from the JPR Steve Nelson Performance Studio on the campus of Southern Oregon University. With me today is Nellie McKay, a genre-defying singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and actor who won an award for a role in a Broadway production of Threepenny Opera. Her music has been on numerous TV shows, including Weeds and Boardwalk Empire and Monster-in-Law and the movie Private Life. And in addition to several albums of original material, she's released a tribute to Doris Day called Normal as Blueberry Pie and a collection of 60s covers called My Weekly Reader with songs by Moby Grape, Faces, and the Kinks. You've heard her in interviews on Weekend Edition, Mountain Stage. She's performed on NPR's Tiny Desk, and somehow she's here with us today at JPR. Welcome, Nellie McKay, to Jefferson Public Radio.
I love it here.
You've been making music for quite a while now, and for those who aren't familiar, tell us about growing up. You're born in England and then moved to the States, is that?
Yes. So, moved all around, but I was a little bit in Olympia, Washington, so a little bit close to here, and a lovely coastline, nuclear power plants, and a motley mix of hippies and rednecks.
Yes, definitely. That is Pacific Northwest,
Yeah.
that in a nutshell, right there. And what initially got you into music and performing?
Oh, gee, it's like my mama got accepted, and I don't know which university. Is there University of Oregon? And that's
There's
what it is.
U of O and OSU are the big ones.
I think it was University of Oregon.
Uh-huh.
And I think she went to go register, and she got in line, and the line was too long. And she thought, I'm going to go take theater instead, which, of course, you have outside. I saw a big sign. But, she just didn't want any homework. But ironically, of course, if you go into the arts, you wind up with a life full of homework. You never turn it off.
Yes. I going into radio, it's kind of like that as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm thinking music 24/7 these days. Yeah.
Oh, that's hard. I think maybe there's a new tendency of people to try to give up music.
Huh.
I'd never thought of that before, but
That
they
doesn't
say-
sound right.
I know. Of all the things. Yeah.
Right. You have an ukulele with you. Do you say ukulele or ukulele?
Oh, I like ook. Sounds nice.
Does it?
And of course, I probably should have said theater.
Oh, I don't know.
There's a. I think I should have said it wrong.
Well, I say theater, so I'll let it slide, I guess.
Yeah.
And you have a ukulele with you, and you're on our Steinway right now, sitting behind it. What do you want to play first for us today?
Oh well, I'd like to play a song called Initiation.
Sounds good to me. Nellie McKay is my guest in a JPR Live Session.
You've seen a face that can remain unfazed while being put in her place. She must be custom made for you. What can she do? From a young age was made to feel ashamed of many dreams she dreamed, and so she gave away the view. I'm made for you. Every time you yell when you point and shout, every time you tell me what it's all about, I get deja vu to a youth lived through the eyes of another. When you live in fear long enough, you hear subtle warning signs coming through loud and clear, so you disappear in the well-worn gears of a life undercover. I've been abused, so I'm used to it, used to just taking it. Instead of breaking down, I just get nondescript. And to avoid conflict, I don't react, I don't talk back, no matter what the cue. Avert my eyes and muffle sighs, just visualize you're through. I was made for you. She says okay about 50 times a day, guess that's the price you pay if you want to maintain the peace. She's well policed, then walks on eggs as every morsel begs and finds herself with dregs. This is a famine, not a feast, to say the least. Every time you jeer, when you laugh out loud, when you tell me you are anything but proud, I can hear the sound of the cheering crowd hound you on for another. When you land that punch with a sickening crunch and a hush settles over the peanut munchers, seeing you flush as you feel the rush of a thug unrecovered. I've been accused, So I'm used to it, used to just faking it. Instead of flipping out, I just look drab and whipped and just get on with it. I don't respond, I can't come on, no matter what you do. Desensitized, I muffle cries, just visualize you're through. I was made for you. Turned a page, at least that's what you say. We're gonna make our way out of this crazy maze we drew. She's sorry too. Things gotta change, I'll let you out your cage. We can escape our fates and pave a different avenue. This time it's true. Then you slam that boot with a grand salute, and the pain blooms brighter than a hoop-de-doo. I recall the brute force, the called galoot, hauling off for another. It's a real meet cute when you point to shoot, fool brooding down the barrel of the bullet chute. Got no therapeutic effect, can mute it to run, duck, and cover. I've been amused, so I'm used to it, used to getting over it. Part of giving up is when you're giving in, and to forgive again. I don't fight back, I can't relax, no matter what is said. Just close my eyes and hold my sides and visualize you're dead. I was made for this. I was made for this.
That's Nellie McKay in a JPR Live Session, tune called Initiation. It's from her latest album called Hey Guys, Watch This. It's a great title for a record, I think.
Oh.
We've been really digging that album. It's your first album of original work in quite a while, and it seems on the surface it's kind of a groovy jazz album, but it goes, as we heard in that song, a little deeper than that. The lead-off track, the drinking song, it seems it's about losing someone. Is that?
Oh, yes, and I imagine everybody can relate to that on some level.
Was that somebody in particular that you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, no, it was a mystery person.
Is it?
Yeah, but yeah, just but you know, we all kind of become mystery people, because I like to think that we go to another place that's very happy and you're free of pain, and you know, but at the same time you think really they're right here in this room, laughing at me, trying to describe the sensation.
It's a nice way of putting that.
Laughing at me and alternately bored with us all, because we're mortals.
Right. When you've gone on beyond this, yeah, this must seem mundane.
Yeah, but that's what I think, is that once you pass over, that you don't have to deal with anything you don't want to deal with. And just, you know, and it is that idea that heaven is a place where nothing ever happens. It's just, it's at once, it's just endlessly thrilling and delightful and stimulating in the best way, and at the same time completely mundane, and there's no fear, and you get to keep all your stuff, but it only appears when you want it, and otherwise there's no clutter, but you have it all.
That sounds pretty pleasant.
Yeah.
So you're an outspoken advocate on various social and political causes. On My Weekly Reader, you cover the Moby Grape song "Murder in My Heart for the Judge" and the Alan Price song "Poor People / Justice," and they kind of take on the U.S. justice system. And the former one, you used it as kind of a launch pad to bring up several other social justice issues. And on the new record, the Party Song. It sounds like a party song until you really start listening to it. Tell us kind of what's going on with all those.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess it's just about, feeling, knowing that you have no place to turn, that, you know, that the fix is in, and that, you know, the corporations and the military-industrial complex have completely taken over the levers of power in this country and around the world in various other governments, and also because the U.S. is the world's superpower. So we have a real responsibility to fight it on behalf of the people that are worst victimized by our superpowers.
Nice way of putting that, too. Would you like to play us another song? What do you want to play?
Oh, I'd love to. Well, David, I should love to play the party song.
Sounds great.
I went to a party, stayed there 20 years one night. There were bright balloons, a pale monsoon of decadent delight. The people at this party were alive or seemed to be. Pretty hearts percuss as coconuts, and gentle was the sea. And I know you've got to mind your metal, pine a little patiently. May the fire burn brighter than the blade, illuminate through spires in the shroud, as a silence settles on the big parade. The day that party burns into the ground, eyes of Hiroshima, all those melted ears and chins. The world was relieved and still agrees it was worth it in the end. It meant the fight was over, the explicit one at least. As the streamers fell, we bid farewell to war and welcomed peace. And I know you've got to mind the weather. Time will tether faithfully. May the ashes flower from the flame, coat the smoldering pyre without sound, as we dash upon the vast ash-covered plain. The day that party burns into the ground. Nothing comes from nothing, and I was not twice naive. But where innocence meets common sense, there's far too much to grieve. You who stood for nothing, now you will not stand at all. Whispered epitaphs and laughing gas come right before the fall. And I know you've got to strive forever, a fine endeavor, heavenly. Peals of laughter scatter after war, stealing through the rafters in the town. Though we stumble on the unfamiliar shore, the day those tower walls come tumbling down, may both parties burn to the blistering ground.
Nellie McKay is my guest in a JPR Live Session. You just heard the party song. It's from her new album, Hey Guys, Watch This. And there's a lot of layers to that song. Do you want to kind of unpack it for us a little?
Oh, my. Wow. Well, I guess just, when you grow up, I think that kids actually, they can handle atrocities better than adults because, people are always like, if you're at a protest and you're holding signs that are quite graphic, they're always like, oh, the children might see. The children can handle it because the children think that, well, I'll grow up and fix it. And you do think that, maybe for the longish time, and then all of a sudden maybe you find yourself in debt, and you just come up against the trap of it all, and you start making these little compromises and these little ways of kind of shielding yourself from the horror of the world by it's becoming inured to it, and you do it deliberately so the mind can handle it. And before you know it, you've become what you thought you never would. And I'm not even sure if that many you never thought you would become. And I'm not even sure a lot of people realize that they have. Like I know a lot of boomers who have, they protested Vietnam, And I just wonder, well, how much of that was just about the draft and just particular to you? And if it was on principle, like you look like Tommy Smothers, just died, and you see some of those. You just, it seems like now some of those people, they think that, say MSNBC or CNN, that they're friends, and these are corporations, they're for-profit entities, and they're funded by weapons manufacturers, and it seems like the whole world kind of broke open at certain times in history, whether it was with socialism of the 1930s or the peace movements and everything in the 60s and 70s, which were very tied into freedom of speech. And that has also gotten lost in that now too many movements, they have become about constricting speech, and that's always a mistake, and it's bad for the arts. It's death to art. But it seems like you have these moments where you can envision a completely different world, and somehow you get sucked back into the machine. And it's just and especially when you come back to our fixed political system, people just kind of give up. And it's one thing to recognize that there's a trap, but you at least want to recognize that and not celebrate that system and even attack those who refuse to participate in it or who challenge it somehow. So it isn't easy, but I think in the end it's easier than accepting, a pack of raving lunatic phonies, I mean, I like knowing things, but I think a lot of times people, it's not that they don't know, it's that they don't want to know, and that's also a difficulty. So I'd say those are all in there. But there's a writer I really like. Her name's Caitlin Johnstone, and she calls herself a utopia prepper, because even though every day she puts out more, I don't know how she puts out so much stuff, and I think it's like what you do here. I mean, just to do things every day. I feel like I need 6 days off a week, But she puts out so much, but it's just she always has that hope, and like she talks about Gen Z now, that people should stop picking on Gen Z because there's a lot that they see and that they're horrified by, and older people should stop telling them that, oh, you'll adjust to it, wake up and join the real world, kid. No, they're waking up in a good way, and that side of it, that they have the genuine anguish of seeing what this world is and the desire to change it. That's a wonderful thing. It's very touching, and it should make us all more like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually see some hope in Gen Z as well. It's like whereas you mentioned, CNN and MSNBC and stuff like that, they're not even paying attention to that. They're getting their information from like a vast array of sources, and some of it's kind of twisted and wrong, but they are also just being exposed to so much more. So I think that like the deck's stacked towards the status quo, but maybe these people getting older now are coming up in a different way.
Yeah, I'd like to think that. And
I'd like to think that.
Yeah. And if there's a plus side to the machines, I mean, maybe it means we could just stay at home and if it means that you stay at home and just watch a bunch of TikTok videos or play video games as opposed to going out and killing other people or animals, well, I think that's preferable. Mm-hmm. I know it's preferable.
Right. Nellie McKay is my guest in a JPR Live Session. The new album is Hey Guys, Watch This. You can find more information about her at nelliemckay.com, and on Facebook, you're Nellie McKay, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Instagram, You Gotta Love America.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to keep up with her on social media. You paid tribute to Doris Day on an album. What was it that attracted you to her music and her life as well?
Oh, yeah. Well, she founded the Doris Day Animal Foundation and the Doris Day Animal League. So I love that. She was ahead of the curve with people like Mary Tyler Moore and Julie Christie and, who played Humbert in Lolita, James Mason. There were these early kind of people who spoke up for animals, Sandy Dennis, and so I always loved that. And then of course I bought a record of hers, and it was actually when we went out down to Maryland for a SeaWorld protest, and we had a little time, and I found this record, and I just couldn't stop listening to it. So it all came full circle.
Oh, Very cool. Yeah, I noticed you're wearing cat slippers, and you're also animal rights activist and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You don't have to love animals, to respect their ability to suffer.
Right.
You always, it's like, I don't even like people. I just don't want to incinerate them. I'm a big, door shutter, but there are people there, they seem to love people. They go kayaking and stuff. They've always got pictures of them and all their million friends and stuff. But then they're like, well, I forget, how would they put it? It's like war is hell, but what you gonna do? It's like, you say you love people so much, you don't love Jack. You love your own reflection.
Nice way of putting that, too.
Yeah.
Well, how about another song? What do you want to play?
Oh, thank you. This one's called Dreamliner.
In the shade of a distant caravan, we all began to sway. In a glade with a sun-kissed garrison, we fell into this play. I never knew I could love you the way I do. Every slip of the wave, a symphony, a tropic dream come true. I never guessed I could hold you above the rest, for to leave is complete catastrophe. Ah, yes, I never guessed. Tag along, 3 steps beyond the splendor. I was wrong, a foolish fond dementia. Our only care is to wander forever there, through the lush, unbespoken luxury, the hush, our only prayer. I never knew I could love you the way I do. In this paradise found a part of me, a tropic dream come true.
That's Nellie McKay in a JPR Live Session. Her latest album is Hey Guys, Watch This, and you can find more information about her at her website. That is nelliemckay.com, NELLIEMCKAY.com.
Nice. We can spell.
Well, it's a good to spell out.
Oh, it sure is. It's a silly Scottish pronunciation.
Yeah. My Weekly Reader. Those were songs based in basically the 60s, and at least one of them or so maybe into the 70s, a little bit like that. Those songs, I think I heard you talking about your appreciation for this, and you said earlier, kind of the social and political change in the atmosphere that was going on. What do you think can happen? What's a good first step to kind of get back to some of that?
Well, people, you do want freedom, and people are so burdened by money. It just seems to. I don't know I guess to see through the way we're propagandized. I mean, it's not just the media; it's also movies, and it's the Pledge of Allegiance, and it's from cradle to grave. We're just indoctrinated. So I guess you want to be able to question, and that means as what was his name? Robert Zimmerman once, but don't follow leaders, because there are even people I know who I agree with mostly politically, but once you get to know them, you think, oh, I couldn't vote for you because I know you now and I know what's behind it, and people, they you still want to latch on to either you want to be a part of a group where we are social animals or to follow. We have this need for some kind of monarchy to put people up on a pedestal, and it's just always dangerous because almost anyone, well, pretty much anyone who wants to go up there, it's not just that power corrupts, it's that it's magnetic to the corruptible. But also, it's just, people are fallible. You don't want to put that much stock in somebody. Everybody's, got a place where they fall down, maybe more so than just falling down. Maybe they're, and they're, as my Auntie Christy would say, a bad news bear.
So on your album Sister Orchid, you played a homage to older jazz standards as well, and a lot of your aesthetic seems to be around that period of time in the 30s, 40s kind of thing like that. What attracts you to that?
Back then? Yeah. I think the icebox. Back then, it was a more innocent time. I think they messed that up sometimes at TV shows. Where people weren't so cynical back then. I'm not saying horrible things didn't happen, but it was innocent. And then I think with the bomb, that really changed, and you really see it just culturally. You see things happening during World War II, and then thereafter, where everything, there became this kind of hardness and the facade, and then the beatniks came out of that, and then the hippies followed so much they were so much a part of the beat era that it's strange that someone like Jack Kerouac didn't like the hippies, because it seems
they seem kind of running parallel.
Yeah, come on, Jack. but yeah, I guess that time in the 30s, and I guess it was before TV. There's a beauty to that, because TV, if you ever read Jerry Mander's 4 Arguments for the Elimination of Television, or his great book, In the Absence of the Sacred, he also lived in Northern California, but not too far from here. And those are just great books. And he talks about growing up in the 30s. And all of a sudden, when TVs came, people just disappeared from their front porches. And how it changed everything. All of a sudden, everything got geared towards TV, including, say, protests. Everything was like, how do we get on TV, as opposed to reach people person to person. And now, of course, it's the same thing. How do we tap into that algorithm online? And I think everybody's always searching for a way, whether it's altruistic or less so, to get on that. But it changes the whole way you think and the whole way you talk, and it's spooky how it takes over you, Don't you kind of want to live in the Pacific Northwest in a cabin?
I think that, everybody has a little bit of a dream like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how about playing one more tune for us today?
Oh, what would you like?
I'm going to leave it up to you.
So it's going to be Fixin' to Die, and then the Drinking Song.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So they kind of go together somehow.
Well, come on, all you big strong men. Uncle Sam needs your help again. He got himself in a terrible jam years ago in Afghanistan. So put down your books and pick up a gun. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. Next stop is in Iran. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up the pearly gates. Well, there ain't no chance in wondering why. Whoopee, we're gonna die. Come on, generals, let's move fast. Your big chance has come at last. Gotta go get those wives. The only good rap is the one that's dead. And you know that peace can only be won when we blow 'em all the kingdom come. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. Next stop is in Iran. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up the pearly gates. Well, there ain't no time to wonder why. Whoopee, we're all gonna die. Come on, Wall Street, get off your ass. You know war can be a gas. Lots of good money to be made, supplying the army with tools of trade. Just make sure when you drop the bomb, you bomb, bomb, bomb Iran. And it's 1, 2, 3, what are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. Next stop is in Iran. And it's 5, 6, 7, open up the pearly gates. Well, there ain't no time to wonder why. Whoopee, we're all gonna die. Come on, mothers, let's go attack. Pack your kids off to Iraq. Come on, fathers, don't hesitate. Send your sons off before it's too late. Be the first one on your block to have your boy come home in a box. And it's 1, 2, 3, what are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. Next stop is in Iran. And it's 5, 6, 7, open up the pearly gates. Well, there ain't no time to wonder why. Whoopee, we're all gonna die. Woo-hoo! There goes my heart, there goes my wrecking ball. Here lies a part I never knew. I say a prayer I've asked 1,000 times, why you're up there when I'm with you. And I just wanna drink and drink and drink and drink and drink. I just wanna let the spirits help me close my eyes. I'm just gonna drink and never think, just keep on drinking till I die. For my baby's gone to angels in the sky. There goes a friend, I was the lucky one. Here lies a heart that was so true. This is the end, it's something permanent. Here comes the cost of loving you. And I'm just gonna dream and dream and dream and dream and dream. I just wanna let the memory lift me from this life. I'm just gonna dream and never scream again. Just dream until I die. For my angel's flown to heaven. Yes, I've lost my loving baby. Now my baby's with them angels in the sky.
That's Nellie McKay with a medley of tunes, Fixin' to Die and the Drinkin' Song. Thanks for being our guest today here on JPR. Yeah. You're on a West Coast tour right now. You're kind of wrapping things up. And what's on the agenda after that?
Oh, after West Coast?
Yeah.
I'm hoping to go to the Rafa Crossing and not only bear witness, but maybe make some music there.
Well, thanks again for being here. It was a pleasure to meet you. A lot of fun. And JPR Live Sessions are engineered by John Griffin of Luna Zen Studios. And you can find the podcast later on our website, ijpr.org, also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And this is a rhythm and news service of JPR. I'm Dave Jackson. Open Air continues in just a moment.